Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I have to talk. Um, I just saw it on Netflix. The new season of Stranger Things, the trailer for it, and also when it's going to premiere on Netflix. I want to let you know about. I saw the trailer. Now, the one weird thing is, I was late coming on to. On the one I eventually saw Stranger Things. I heard so many people talk about it. He said you're going to binge watch that thing because it was like a word of mouth thing. Netflix is focusing so much on the new shows now. So much is going to get. There's just so many hours in the day you can watch a show. You know, I was right on board with Glow when I first found out about it the day it premiered because I knew the brand recognition. And I remember watching it as a kid. And I liked it. I gave it an 8 at the time. When I finished watching the whole season, I gave it a full on 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. Well, anyways, I didn't see Stranger Things till maybe a month or so after. I can't remember the exact date I reviewed it. And I was amazed by it. It was completely fantastic. And I wanted to check out the trailer that was released on Movie Clips about 6 hours ago, if I'm not mistaken. And this one is really good. Because it's set in the 80s, so a lot of people who grew up in the 80s have fond memories of some of these things. Like, you know, they show the kids going to this arcade and they say, oh, right, it's Get Ready, and they were playing Dragon's Lair. I remember playing Dragon's Lair in Uncle Charlie's. And since then, they just call it Charlie's Pub and Eatery or something like that. I still call it Uncle Charlie's, I don't care. And being completely decimated by that game is so tough. It was the first video game that I think it charged you 50 cents, so I only played it a few times. I was like, dang, it's too much money. I was terrible at it. I think they did a Saturday morning cartoon about it, but I don't think I ever watched the cartoon. It was like, they had like laser disc technology. It was like a cutting edge game, but it was so tough. And I mean, you had to play it a lot to really get good at it. I don't know if, I'm sure there's some people that had the extra bread to, you know, with 50 being 50 cents, you know, it was a little bit tough. But I mean, I did play it. I remember being decimated. I bet those kids in the game probably played better than me on a TV show, Stranger Things. And they were showing all these crazy things happening, just like in the first one. Got no spoil, and they were playing like on the thing they were playing. They started to play the Vincent Price monologue part from the Thriller song, and it went so good with that. I mean, it brought back so many memories of the '80s. I think that's one of the catches for the older people out there, because it's like people grew up in the '80s. I love the '80s. Are making shows now, and I mean, the whole thing looks amazing. I remember Thriller was such a big deal back then. Before all the controversy with Michael Jackson and stuff like that, Thriller came out, and it was unheard of. It was directed by John Landis, and it had, like, you know, like I said, the Vincent Price thing in there. I mean, Vincent Price did like some stuff with Alice Cooper too, and it was like the first music video to be like that cost $1 million. I remember seeing that on. We didn't have cable at the time, so we didn't have MTV, but I saw it on, like, they had something called the New Music on Canadian TV on CBC. And I remember Dad renting the videotape. There was like a hour-long videotape called The Making of Thriller with, basically it was John Landis and talking with Michael Jackson. You know, and they talked about all the behind-the-scenes stuff, and they showed the video. I think they showed the video first or at the end or something like that. And Dad said, I wanted to rent that so you guys see it. Well, I always saw it on Canadian TV. I was like, oh, man. But, I mean, I'm talking about the 80s influences, but, I mean, it just enhances everything. The story, it looks absolutely amazing. I think Netflix really knows what they latched onto in this one. They spent more money on it. But, I mean, the first one was fantastic, too. And the date, I know people are waiting to see the date that they're going to be releasing these. It's going to be released on October 27th on Netflix. All episodes. And that's really cool because, you know, like a TV station would like have like an episode a week and stuff like that. This one, I think they're really doing the whole binge watching thing. They release all the episodes at once. I bet you that could probably be the highest rated thing on all live streaming, or maybe even beating out program for regular network TV and even cable. You never know. So that's my review of the Netflix of the season 2 trailer for Stranger Things, and also the date that is coming out, October 27th. All episodes on Netflix. So I hope you like this video. Until next time, bye, please. Take care, my legion.